We have one set.
Yeah. You know what it is? Yeah. Roll time save from real life. You guys want to see my next painting project?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Minis?
He's a biggie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can you switch to it, Michael?
Huge.
What is it, John?
My head.
Can you hold it close again?
It's a frost giant.
Whoa. That's dope.
Nice.
Look at how detailed he is. He's got little fucking chainmail, and it's different. look at the X.
It's so grainy.
Yeah, it's pretty low. Wait, it's coming in focus.
This thing's just a bad
Tough.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm excited to paint him. He's a chunk.
Chunk of love.
I rolled 5.
18.
3. I got lowest, right?
We're locating dice.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. That's good, right? I got that.
It's weird.
Not that specifically, but just the pack.
Oh, the pack,
I liked.
yeah. I like everything else. This one's my least favorite.
The weird one.
13.
13. Okay, so we just escaped. We're hanging out at those Bard Thief Guild guys' place.
Can he? Does he have headphones on?
No. Okay, so we're hanging out at that Bard Thieves Guild place, and then we get a message from Sovereign, the Warforged guy, that there are like bombs basically throughout the part of the city we're in. So we were gonna split up, but then we thought we shouldn't. Took a sky cab over to the Helm's Temple, Quincy's jam. Got in a big bad fight with a bunch of guys. Were able to stop that bomb, and then we went over to the Terrence's school. What is it called again?
Margrave University.
Margrave University. We ended up finding our way using like a locate object spell into like the basement of a library or something, and we found our way through this like mess of old nasty ass books, and we found it somehow locked to some object or something. I don't remember, but it was like trapped behind like this maze of books. So we
I
like
don't remember exactly what the mechanism was, because I'm terrible.
it was
was it a
attached to a
chest?
platform or something. Like if you tried to take it off, it would trigger something.
Right.
We had a weird way. We like somehow didn't we like shove the base into the bag of holding or something?
I don't remember.
I can't remember
It
how.
was, I think it was like stone shaped and like just.
Yeah, to detach it from the ground.
Yeah. I scooped it.
And then that lady, some lady that Terrence worked with,
Professor Trumbull Stace?
Yep.
Chumble
Was that her name?
Stace?
Yeah. It totally was. Did you write that down?
Chumble Stace.
Yep.
Alright. Professor Chumble Stace took us down into the library where we stone-shaped the thing off. We nabbed the thing. And then she told us there's like horrible poison gas and we're all going to die. Terrence gave her
Right, because she was divination. She was
Yes.
a divination major, right?
Yeah.
Or,
To look into
or
the future.
divination.
So the second we touched it, she yelled out. Terrence threw her a gate scroll. Not a gate scroll. Dimension
teleports.
door.
The what's it called?
Dimension door.
Yep.
She zapped out of there. We got real hurt. I turned into a muck, punched through the ceiling. We climbed out, ran away.
Barmelina got real sick.
Oh yeah, she got real bad. And then, big guy, Zoltar,
Zalhart. The now like warforged, flat-headed Zalhart.
he wants our butt. and he come chasing, and we're running up his stairs, and then like me and him did a little tussle, and then I ended up like suplexing him down a staircase.
You're right.
And then,
That was rad.
and then
Oh, he chain lightninged the metal
oh shit!
spiral staircase. That's what it was. So
Well,
it sapped everybody up, and then like you got in a fight. Everybody's trying to leave. There are people upstairs, but I think Terrence was in the front.
yeah.
Terrence tried charging through and didn't go well.
Yeah.
Onward! Ouch!
So there was like a a big thing there. You guys ended up getting out of the staircase to death eventually.
We knocked over some Warforged, ran through a tree over to the Black Spider's garden, where we were very exhausted, had our butts kicked, and we took a short rest, and then the bomb exploded. We got in a sky cab. Oh, it didn't explode. All the floating air elemental stuff turned off.
It was ripping all of the structural integrity out of like the thin spots that like makes Sharn so tall. That's what it was trying to do, is seal it off so they can't, like, the structural integrity would be compromised. There was one bomb left. It was in lower middle Memphis Plateau.
That's where Thistle lives, right?
Right. Yeah, it was in a tavern district. Just so you saw. The bomb went off, infected a lot of things in that area. I mean, a bomb, the size of the city district. While you guys were going over a particularly high, a particularly cinematic sky cab, crossing from one high plateau to another high plateau, what happened?
Alan Greenspan waved the guy down with the upright base. While we were in the cab, the thing detonates. The sky cab starts falling. We all start falling. We all do the feather fall potion thing. And then,
And you extort money from the sky cab driver.
when we were looking back, I thought we did a check. You were a nat 1.
Right.
I thought it was to give the guy the potion, so I thought we just killed this guy over 35 gold.
No, I think it was something to do with the base didn't work in this district that you were in.
Okay.
So he charged you,
Mm-hmm.
and when he tried to negotiate, that's when he rolled a natural 1.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not. I don't
No,
know.
it was a dexterity check for Alan to catch the money,
Yep.
and so it just went everywhere.
Scattered to
So
the
money's
wind.
gone. But yeah. So what happened then?
So then we're slowly falling down. We go all the way down past the slums into trash heap, barge, Walmart parking lot town.
Pretty much.
The Cogs.
What happened to the district?
It fell,
What
right?
happened?
Something collapsed, right?
It didn't fall, but the Mile High Tower went to a really weird angle, and it's the same tower with that. I mean, it was the same district. That's multiple towers. The structural integrity was compromised, so it began to lean, and there was a part of it that just kind of exploded into dust as it began to lean. So it's at a really strange angle, but not falling. And that crux point where it's beginning to lean a little bit, that just kind of exploded into dust, was the tavern district of Memphis Plateau, which Thistle was that's pretty much where he lived and did all of his business.
Shit.
So now you are in the Cogs. This is below the slums. He's very right. This is you were in a weird point, getting between two large plateaus. You just fell and fell. You hit ground level, but because Shorn is kind of carved out, you just kept going past ground level, deeper and deeper and deeper. You land in Trash City pretty much. It's just there's no buildings really. Everything's just like carved into the walls here. It smells like piss. It is hot as shit. As you kind of look, you can see grates in the street. It's not really a street. It's just like a clearing where people can walk. There's grates that people have put over metal or like wood planks that begin to kind of like char at the sides as you kind of look and peer down. And it's just this sulfurous explosion coming up as there's just lava. Like maybe 30, 40 feet down. Just cracks in the middle of the street and it's just lava.
Dang.
You are standing. They're looking very different from everybody else here. But there is a gigantic crowd. People crawling out of all the different cracks, the nooks, the crannies. Looking up and seeing this just huge explosion. You guys had called a couple people. Goosefire said he was okay. He gave you a place to meet. He says if you can get up to the lower wards, he can send a cab to come pick you up to take you to where he is right now, which is Skyway, which is the part. But yeah, it's really gross. You were standing in a crowd of maybe 50 other people. They all just kind of look like beggars. It's just a faceless group of very poor-looking people. Everybody's looking at the giant tower that's leaning and collapsed. What do you do?
Are there any, like, I don't know. I guess, like, what's, like, the architecture here? Are there, like, actual structures and buildings, or, like...
The only thing that slightly resembles buildings would be, like, things that people have made out of garbage. Okay. Shantytown is probably the best way.
Okay.
Wherever there are walls, there are holes people have dug out into the rock. Some of the rock you see has been dug into, and then immediately it looks like lava has burst out and begun to cool, or had cooled a long time ago. Yeah, it's Shantytown. There's no real buildings that you can see.
Okay.
It's like there's no sunlight here. It's all just like shadowed from all the towers that are impossibly high.
We're hot. We're fresh off a short rest, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So is there a road or any kind of a, I don't know, path?
It looks like there's a path, but as you kind of looking around, people are staring up at the catastrophe. It's not like a road. It's not like there's a distinct way that this place goes this way, this place goes that way. It's just a spider web of different strange ways for you to go.
Hmm.
It's not open. It's actually very claustrophobic. But, you look this way, and that's a little bit wider, but it also splits off into 4 or 5 different places. There's, down one of the roads, there seems to be ruined structures that people have converted into, like, living quarters, but crumbling buildings that people have just kind of divided and turned into a shanty town. But as far as any sort of, wood and timber, nothing. No singular structure that you can see, besides just the base rock that's been carved into. And there's tunnels. You can see people popping out of tunnels that are also ways in between all of these shanty towns.
Can you do a perception check to see what kind of people are around? Like, are they humans?
Yeah, sure.
How old are they? 12.
12? Off in one part, you can see that there's a group of humans. They're sticking very close together. They all look really grubby. A few of them look pretty sick.
Does anyone
one or
look?
two. What?
Does anyone look hurt from the impact?
From the impact, no, because that's very very far away.
Okay.
It'd be like standing on the Statue of Liberty and watching a tower fall.
Okay.
It's that far away.
Gotcha.
But people are just kind of horrified and in awe, like awestruck. There's a group of humans. There is, you can see there's some short, bearded fellows, maybe 2 or 3 of them, kind of sporadic, white beards, dark skin. They look not exactly like dwarves, but like a little bit different. They're a lot shorter. There's, you can definitely pick out, there's one minotaur somewhere, and it's just a large smattering of people. Like every race, there's a whole bunch of shifters kind of scattered around. People that are real hairy.
I'm. Who's the best liar? You think? One of us should just pretend to get hurt, and like we gotta help our friend who's hurt.
I don't know if I care about that. I mean, we should get a handle on what these people are like.
Well, there's like
Maybe we could trade some like useless junk for some information or something.
I guess, but I don't want to be like. I don't want them to know we have shit because I think we might like get ambushed or something. I think we just want to keep a low profile. Maybe we say somebody's hurt and we got to get him to a cleric or something up in the higher zone. You know what I mean?
Or we could just act crazy and I don't know, try to get along with them and maybe they'll help us out. I don't know.
I think you should turn into a bird. Friggin' see if you can find us a way out.
It's also a good idea.
Yeah,
I
I can
see
do it.
6 different paths. I don't know how we're supposed to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, and who's to say any of these local people know shit about how to get out of here, you know? Seem like they've been here a while. Yeah, I'll look around. I'm gonna... Could I try to, like, get away from where people might be looking at us?
Yeah, you can try to roll
Can
stealth.
you roll in the box?
Yeah.
It's not so loud.
That's good. Oh, shit. What is an eagle stealth?
As he kind of sneaks off,
Plus
you
3.
see a shadow coming through the open sky, kind of circling. And you look up, and you can see Trud is desperately trying to find you guys somewhere here, up above.
I can see Tread?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a 19 for stealth. And once I get away, I just want to turn into an eagle, and I'm going to go find him.
You go find Trud?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to call Trud Boy down.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, he does his thing. What about you guys?
I'm gonna
The
go.
shock and awe, like people are still out there, watching the tower almost fall. The initial shock is kind of over. People are still out in the street, and the crowd starts to erupt in murmuring, yelling. Everyone's hear like a scream. People start to yell at each other.
I am going to shove the sword of Galifar in my pants so that no one sees it.
Okay, roll a stealth.
Turn into a tiny sword.
Turn it into a merkin.
I'm going to use lucky.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
16 stealth.
16? Okay.
It was
Pretty
originally
easily,
a 1.
You shape it from what it was into a small little dagger. You just kind of tuck it in your belt pockets. It's still bright and golden and covered in ridiculous gaudy gems. It's tucked in your pants.
I want to go over to those dwarf-looking people.
Okay. They're they're about the size of a dwarf, but much slender, more slender, a little bit taller than like a halfling or gnome. One of them has a huge white bushy beard, long wild hair that you see. There's like weird, like his hair is just like almost dreaded out in weird fucking places. It looks like one eye is kind of like popped out, and he's twitching, looking around. The other two, who are talking, pretty much. The other two, one's not clean shaven, but he's got kind of like a rough beard, also a bright, brilliant white, not like a silver or gray of age. Something that just like stands out like no pigment. That one has his hair shaved as much as he can, and there's one that's balding pretty bad. Large patches of a not as big beard, kind of like taken out in chunks. All of them have wild eyes, and they're speaking to each other in a strange language that seems chittery, almost. They don't have like the higher vocal range of the smaller people. They have like normal talking baritone voices, and it's a little eerie to see something with like a lower voice talking excitedly. Is the twitchy one. He's looking between the other two. As you kind of like begin to make your way over, he just sits there and locks eyes on you. He squints the eye that's a normal size, and he just crazy eyes you with the weird one that's popping out.
I just walk up and go, "There's only 1, 2, 3 storks in the bramble bush."
There's 4. There's one up there, there's one here, and then there's the devil, and then there's me, and there's him, and then all the tiny little ones in the
6!
The other two just are silent. They just kind of stop talking and look up. Looking a little defensive. They kind of step in front of the weird, crazy one that's talking to you. I guess you're still probably a little bit taller. You're much chunkier than they.
Yeah. Where does the south wind come from?
I know! The one that's balding kind of slaps his hand down. He goes, "Who are you? What do you want?"
Only 3 moments of your time.
I want to know! The other one kind of like takes the one with the crazy hair and just like puts his head down and just begins petting his weird matted hair. He goes, Don't talk to him. He's sick enough already.
Is this your grandfather?
No, he's not.
Oh.
He looks you up and down with like your like brilliant armor, like giant weapons. He goes. They talk to each other a little bit in that weird language again. They eye you up and down, and they just begin to try to leave.
Alright, I just let him leave.
Okay. They look very mistrusting.
Yeah. Oh, well, it didn't go so well.
Can I see any semblance of a path while I'm there flying around? Or anything that connects?
Of a path? No, it's just like an interweb. Like there's no like streets or anything that you can see. It's just people making out a life in a pretty inhospitable place down here.
Are there like tunnels and stuff?
What?
Are there like tunnels and stuff?
I mean, there are tunnels, yeah. Not that you can see up here. There's definitely like a webwork of causeways, maybe.
Sure.
There's different. You can see chunks of shanty towns. Some of them built up in multiple layers. As you kind of like get outside of where the shanty towns are congregated, you see more foundries. You start to see like pools of lava. Thick black smoke begins. You start going, I'll say northward, and thick black smoke just begins to pollute the air, and it begins really, really difficult to be able to see from the air. As you smell coal smoke, ironworks, metalworks,
Okay, I'm gonna grab Trud and just bring him on down.
Okay. You land on him as an eagle?
Yeah.
I think you got spikes coming your way. It's like a
That's
a
fair.
big eagle coming out of nowhere. Trud immediately starts to go like aggressive flight tactics. Like he breaks banks really quick, tracks you with his like strangely fierce feline eyes. You see the tail begin to go down beneath him in like an aggressive, like he's like pulling out spikes.
I'm gonna try my best to dodge him, try to get his attention.
Okay. I think 2 or 3, like a warning shot come out and you get out of the way of it. What do you do to let Tread know that you're you?
I just fly in front of him as fast as I can, get his attention, and just start doing real dumb shit. Then I get real close to him and let out a big fart.
Okay.
And then after I do, I cut away and then fly back towards the group, like looking at him over my shoulder, kind of thing.
I think after you start doing dumb shit, he looks a little confused, but eventually his tail goes from like aggressive, the spikes kind of recede, and begins following you back down.
Right.
So do we see Ballstar the Eagle come back and try?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you see Ballstar, you definitely see the fucking Manticore, the full-grown adult Manticore come down. As he begins to come down, the part of the crowd begins to kind of shriek. You can hear some people just like, "Oh my god, it's a monster! Monster!" Just running. As they clear away, he breaks, lands. The size of a full-grown tiger, giant wings, covered in spikes. The rows of shark-like teeth and a feline mouth. As soon as he lands, you people kind of scatter. You get people that are that begin to pull out wooden weapons and begin to try to like poke him.
All right. I'll jump between the people trying to poke him and just, I don't know, kick weapons out of the way.
Okay. Do you say anything or just start like getting people, trying to get people to move, trying to scare people, trying to calm them down? What are you doing?
Whatever you do, don't provoke them.
Okay. What are you just trying to calm people down?
Yeah.
Make them afraid of him?
Yeah, I just want to caution restraint.
Roll persuasion.
Nat 1.
You come up and you start yelling, trying to get over the crowd that begins yelling. The crowd begins yelling louder because you're yelling trying to get over you. That scares Trud.
Oh no.
I think Trud, you see the tail spikes, he comes up, tail spikes come out, and he just throws in an arc in front of him. 3 spikes.
Oh my god.
It definitely hits like some people. You hear shrieks, wounded. Let's roll. Let's see. One of them goes wild, off into the distance somewhere. One of them hits. It looks like a middle-aged woman. Very skinny, very fierce looking. She's wearing like a tight knit, like homespun, like dirty whole like hood around right in the shoulder. She starts yelling. Black blood just begins spewing from it. Way in the distance, you hear a
Oh no.
it's like way in the back. You see something begin to stand up like way taller than everybody else.
Oh, no.
As a huge meaty ogre who turns around and you see one head go and then his you like the profile changes, there's a second head growing out of the neck as he goes, "Why would you do that?" And one of them's looking around trying to see, the other one's trying to pull the spike out of the shoulder.
Well, that went well.
You see people around the two-headed ogre just begin to fucking scatter.
We should get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go where? There's nowhere to go.
We gotta pick a direction, I guess. It's as
You
good
hear
as,
a brrrr!
it's as, good as any. Let's
I'm-
go.
Yeah, can I...
It looks like the axle of a wagon wheel. Like the bottom axle, and there's still one wheel on one part of this as he just begins picking that up as a club. He's got just these weird red tattoos all up and down his big fat belly and his broad chest, and he just starts wailing at things in that direction of Trud.
Oh, God.
Let's go the other way.
Yeah, I'm booking it, looking for any path leading the way.
There's lots of different paths. I'll say that there's like one path that looks like there's a whole bunch of ruined buildings people have kind of built out the home for. Let's say that there's a tunnel that goes deep into the rock that's very close by. I think maybe you go deeper into the shantytown. The shantytown begins to build up in different levels at one point because the rock begins to grow close together. So the shantytown begins building up on itself.
I'm...
I think that's it. Well, let's just keep it at those options.
I vote the up direction.
Okay, yep.
Which direction?
The one that's building up.
Okay, near into the deeper into the shantytown.
Yep.
Okay. Quincy went and talked to the weird white Darrow things. You did your thing. Congressman did his thing. What about Barbalina and Terrence? Before hell kind of breaks loose because Shred starts attacking people. What are you guys doing?
I didn't have anything in particular. I think just keeping the group together.
Just kind of keep an eye out.
Yeah, I think when stuff starts to go bad, I just start nudging people, like go.
So you went deeper into the shantytown?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, to the upper level.
Okay. It's not like an upper level. I may have
Or just-
misspoke. It the shantytown begins to condense, I guess is what it is. You're kind of in a more open area, almost maybe a square or a pavilion. People aren't squatting here. Every once in a while, there's people squatting. There's just people have bags open and they just sit down, start making a fire. But there's no semi-permanent structures. The shantytown really starts to condense over in that direction. You guys begin to run. You start to smell more of the coal smoke, and it's hotter and grosser over there. The grind is even more condensed, as that's the direction that a lot of the foundries that you were flying over, a lot of the lava and all of the weird whatever sort of machines that keep Sharon going. You start running in that direction, trying to get somewhere more clustered. Maybe you can hide a little bit. What does Trud do? Trud, everybody, you guys begin to let's cheese it. Get away, sticks. Don't fail me now. What do you do with Trud? Trud heckles up, spikes, teeth bared, spikes out. He sees that the big ogre thing is beginning to swing at people.
Who's in the rear? Someone want to grab him? Do you want to come with us?
I'll hop on him. And is there area to fly in the air? Is there an open area?
Yeah. This specific place is it's open enough that you can see that above a whole bunch of stuff. This is a more open area.
Okay. I'll just like you pull up on his neck and like get him to go up in the air.
Okay.
Just, like, chill
You
out
jump
for a bit.
on. Roll. Is there an animal handling?
Yep.
Okay. I'll give you advantage on it because you guys are particularly close.
Okay. Natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Nice. You hop on him. You notice as soon as the pressure hits him, he calms down. You easily tell him where to go. He follows, takes off into the air in that direction. Everybody else begins to kind of congregate, go more toward the clustered shantytown area. You guys find yourselves. There's a few levels. I think all the rock begins to kind of come in, maybe 20 feet, and all the shantytown people had put plywood. The differing lengths of plywood, as the rock hits the bottom, it kind of comes out in a V. All the plywood is reinforced, but there's different levels. You can see strange ladders kind of coming up to different levels. The weird red light of cheap ever-burning torches kind of deep into it. As soon as you rush into the bottom level, it's just splashing sewage in the bottom level. Smells terrible. It's disease ridden. There's a couple of just dead bodies, just in about 2 or 3 inches of sewage as you guys are splashing through. It gets immediately dark. No sunlight coming through the bottom of this condensed shanty town. Take lefts and rights. Pretty soon, you're pretty lost. You have a vague direction of where you came from. Still hearing some commotion in that direction, but now you find yourselves ankle deep in sewage at the bottom of a shanty town. People are kind of screaming. Every once in a while you'll hear just up above yelling. You guys hear a spell go off somewhere. You're not sure where or how or why. But there's nobody else that would be down here in ankle deep in sewage.
And it's dark?
It is dark.
So I cannot see in the dark. I'd have to grab somebody's arm, I guess.
Quincy loses everybody else on...
I was gonna say I was trying to keep an eye out for him to follow him, but I don't
You can
know.
keep an eye on it, but there's there's a very dense part of the shanty town that they run to the very, very bottom level of.
Oh, okay.
You have a general idea of maybe where they are, but you have no idea what the bottom part of the shanty town looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Shoot, are you still a bird? I don't know. I'm going to say I just followed Barbalina when I stopped being able to see.
Okay. How about Terrence? Any bright ideas?
It's real dark. Can I roll perception?
Sure.
My base was 11. I don't have my character sheet.
Oh no. Was your wisdom high?
Perception is +5.
Plus 5?
I'm sending it to you now.
Wait, was that Quincy rolling or Terrence rolling?
Terrence.
With a 16. It smells really bad in here. I think you have dark vision. You can see. It's just it's structural bits holding up plywood that the shantytown's kind of built on. You're ankle deep in sewage. You run left and right. It's very confusing. You can you find a place maybe off to like one of the sides where the ground begins to kind of rise a little bit, so you're not ankle deep in sewage. You kind of lead everybody there. You find yourself kind of you go up heightened, so you're not staying in sewage. There's a couple more holes. There's light kind of streaming down a little bit, whether it's firelight through some cracks in the floor. You guys all kind of congregate.
Can I try to find them?
I don't think that'd be roll for it. I don't know if you'll be able to find it through layers of Shantytown.
Nope. 9. Or 10, I think.
You come closely trying to find it. A weird spell comes out of nowhere. Comes at you. You kind of make eye contact with one guy who's just like looking at you. Throws up another spell, misses.
Okay.
I got your earring.
I think I lost you guys. Any landmarks you guys see that I can identify, or?
This has happened to me so many times where I beast shape and then just can't talk for 2 sessions.
Can't really hear you, just
I says this has happened so many times where I'll beast shape and then just can't talk for like a session.
yeah.
What you guys doing?
No, we don't really have a landmark. I mean, the second body on the left.
Right. I think at this kind of raised platform, there's kind of there's a shitty ladder, like a rope ladder. Some of us kind of shoddily made that maybe that you can climb up to get into the top parts, not the top, but the next level up in the shantytown. Yeah, so you can get out of the muck at least.
Yeah, we got to go up.
Ladder up. You guys all emerge like a hole in the middle of the ground. This one is still a shantytown, but there's boards of plywood put over, so you're maybe 12 feet up from the bottom layer of this, of all the muck. It's still gross. It still smells really bad. It's very claustrophobic. As you're like kind of hunched down, almost have to like squat. Not squat, but like you definitely have to hunch down. There's little pockets of light around. Everywhere you look, there's like little temporary structures of just garbage holding stuff up. Maybe like ready cloth to get some sort of privacy. You hear babies like crying off in the distance. You hear some people grumbling. Kind of close by, you hear the meaty thumps of somebody beating something that sounds like flesh. It's gross.
But anyway, there's a way we can proceed.
Yeah, this is a lot more street-like, I guess. Like, you have a couple of different ways to go. Yeah.
How's the lighting? Still kind of crappy?
Still kind of crappy. Looks like there's another level of shantytown above you.
Babs, do you spot another ladder?
Yeah, roll perception. You can see. It's like dim light.
I can't see crap.
Yeah, roll a perception if you want to try to find something.
Well, that's another 1.
I think you just pick a direction. Everybody's a little don't know where to go. You just decide to take initiative. You go a direction. You can't really see anything. You continue. You're kind of like huddled down. It looks like the roof begins to slant down a little bit. For somebody that's maybe half your size, maybe walking distance, or it's walking height, you have to kind of crouch as you kind of come out to something that's larger, a place that like an area that's a little bit larger. You come out, it's still just wood, driftwood, like strange like metal cages people have fashioned. Can't see anything. You bump into something smooth and cool to the touch, and you feel your foot step on something, like something fleshy. You hear as you come face to face, something whirls around, a huge snout full of teeth, a lizard person. It looks like he's got just hatchets and like he's got a couple of hands kind of attached to his shoulder. He turns around, screams at you, pulls out a hatchet.
How do you do?
I think he tries to attack. He doesn't get the roll a dexterity. Let's do a quick initiative real quick.
For the last 4 rolls.
Yeah,
12, 1, 1.
Oh my god. 3 out of 4 have been ones.
Making up for all the rolls from last time.
16 dex roll.
15? You get to go first. He just begins trying to rip you apart. You stepped on his tail, or his foot, or his hand, or something.
I will grab the sword of Galifar and transform it into a big shield.
Okay. You put it up in front. He just wails on it. He tries to wail it. 2 hatchets come out, I guess. You can only wear... Well, I guess you don't have a shield. So I guess you got an 11 and 14. These strange bone-like hatchets just come raining down on the shield. Those come down, and there's suddenly a light you can see in front of you as you kind of peek out from the shield. A green light begins to kind of form as you squint and peek out from the shield. You notice the lizard person's mouth is open, and a bright green light begins coming from its mouth.
Oh god.
There's a huge bout of green flame. And it wraps around the shield. I don't think you can really get hit by it. Then you feel something hit the shield and begin tugging on it to try to get it out of your grasp. Because it is covered, it's gold and covered in diamonds.
And it's been illuminated for the world. So
you hear a language, like a hissing, strange, clicking language come out of it as soon as the dragon breath happens. And then he grabs it, hisses something, and then it's you guys are behind him too if you guys want to intervene. He's just kind of like holding the line.
Yeah, Terrence will come up and try and hold person.
Okay. Hold person. Yeah, he rolled a 3. He stops holding the shield, just completely paralyzed. I think Falstar. There, you feel all of a sudden grasped by hands about the size of your size. 3 hands just grasp at your armor, begin trying to pull you in a direction. You see smaller figures laughing, chittering to themselves. another weird language, different from the weird hissing language you can find. As you see, there's two goblins that are just trying to pull you off away from everybody else in a weird small hole that you didn't see that was covered by some fabric.
I just bird shriek. Rah! I try to peck.
Okay.
I peck at whoever's close to me.
Roll a strength check. They're trying to
Oh
grab
boy.
you.
Okay with that.
I got a 18 minus 4.
Let's see what I got. I think I got.
And then a 3.
Tiny builds is +3.
Oh, it's 3. Okay. I thought it was minus something. Now 20.
Okay. I think they grasp you, pull out some feathers, but you just rip yourself free, flapping some wings. You see two goblins, kind of horrified that they grasp the large bird of prey.
Can I try to go for one?
Yeah, sure.
All right. That's a claw. That's 26 to hit.
Oh, easily.
And then I got a beak. That's a 15 to hit.
That hits too. You just jump on one and start tearing him apart.
Woo!
As soon as you jump on one, you hear like the muffled screams kind of devolve into gurgles. You hear one of the hands let go as it just begins like shrieking in another weird goblinoid language, running down that hall that was covered.
I don't see any green flames in the city below, do I?
Roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Right.
I start using the goblin blood to wash off some of the sewage.
I rolled a 17.
With disadvantage?
Yeah.
I still don't think that's enough. I think they're a couple levels down.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have a paralyzed lizard person trying to steal your shield, Alan. What you doing?
My plan was to kind of go with the momentum. If he was pulling away from me, I just wanted to like charge in the same direction.
All right, yeah, you easily he's paralyzed now, so you just push him over. A white-scaled, very thin, very sickly-looking dragonborn is sitting there paralyzed with wide eyes.
Check his pockets.
Search his pockets. You push him out of the way, look down, kind of made your way. You look up, you hear more hissing, more of that weird language. As you look up, you kind of squint. You can see the one place maybe there's a couple of beams of light coming down. You see heads come out, another head come out.
I start shaking.
Reptilian, weird, articulated, jerky movements.
I start shaking my head no really, really quick to everybody. I'm like, we gotta go.
You begin to feel cold, like a very cold draft as the nearest head, that's another white one crested with horns, much bigger than this first one, opens its jaw a little bit, and you can just see like frost begin to dribble out.
Can I go like straight up as fast and as far as I can?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's still like a ceiling. It's like really shitty, like driftwood and like trash,
Oh, okay. I thought we had open air above us. Okay, never mind.
but no open air, no.
Back from whence we came.
Oh god.
You just turn around and run.
Well, I just kind of picked a direction to begin with, didn't I?
Well, with a natural one, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to go the other way.
You turn around, you find Terrence and Ballstar. Ballstar on top of a eviscerated goblin. Terrence, who's just chilling in the back, throwing out the hold person.
Hostiles at 12 o'clock. Must go back.
What?
Hostiles at 12 o'clock. Must go back.
Okay, you turn around. You feel a cold at your back. Actually, you need to roll a dex saving throw.
Okay. 13.
Oh boy.
Okay, take 2 cold damage. As you just feel the ice pour over you. You hear more chitters. more snarls behind you as more Dragonborn just come out of the woodworks and begin chasing you.
Can I kind of lead the front, checking for new direction to go?
Sure, as an eagle, you're super slow on land and there's no real room to fly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Gnome if I'm having trouble then.
Okay. You find yourself over a bloody corpse. You see Alan turn around and go, 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 as he gets hit with a blast from behind.
Yeah.
Terrence is gonna wait until everyone gets out and take up the rear, and I'm just gonna create bonfire right in the doorway and just start and then run.
Cool.
Arson.
What does create bonfire do exactly?
It says you create a bonfire on the ground that you can see within range.
Instantaneously?
Yep.
Was that cantrip?
Yeah.
Damn.
Any creature in the space when you cast the spell must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 1d8 fire damage.
Here's the interesting part. The bonfire ignites flammable objects in its area that aren't being worn or carried.
Yeah.
Everybody begins to slip past Terrence. Terrence stays where he is, does a quick spell. This almost pillar of flame in the very, very condensed area erupts, and immediately you start hearing the cackle or the crackle of things catching fire. All of the old wood, all of the garbage, all of the ratty cloth just begins to erupt in flame. Behind that, you start hearing all of the lizards, like Dragonborn lizard man speak, hissing and like behind it. But quickly behind you, the inferno spreads wide. Things all around you begin to catch fire. Old, dry wood, pieces of cloth. You hear people start screaming in tunnels that you didn't really know where it happened.
Oh no.
All of the fire, all of the plywood both beneath you begins to catch fire. And you run. Oh, boys. Oh, boys, you run. I think at this point, Quincy begins to see flames lick at one part of the shanty town.
Is that you guys? Those flames?
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Alright, I'm coming.
We don't know. Can you
guys
see?
Run desperately, trying to find a way out. Who's the head of the pack?
I said I was going.
Okay. What do you do? You got a fire raging
Behind it.
Raging behind you.
I'm just looking for any direction out of here.
Okay, roll perception.
27.
You kind of pick, you go left, right, straight, right.
Hadouken.
Eventually you find yourself, you go for maybe 500, 600 feet. Going, straight, you find another ladder, you climb up, people start following you. You start to hear shrieks behind you and the smoke begins to blind you. Eventually, you find ladder, just lucky picking, or maybe just trying to, follow the light. You find yourself climbing to the very top and seeing just a speck of daylight that's not shadowed by the towers up above, being passed through, just smoke, blue smoke behind you, beginning to kind of cloud that sunbeam. As you find yourself at the top of the shanty town that it kind of builds itself up into a wedge in a higher part of the Cogs. You pull yourself out of that and begin running towards this other area that's not on fire. This is more of an area with tunnels, I guess, built into the rock. There's a few structures here. They look shabby and really, really bad. And you kind of hear the sounds of industry around you. You start to smell sulfur. It's very, very hot around here. As you pull yourself out of the ridiculous shanty town that's now aflame. Straight ahead, you can see there's one structure that's kind of built out of garbage, but actually about the size of a building, thatched roof. Elements from all different things kind of just making up the building, with like mortar in between just to make a wall. There's a lot of people around. Not like, well, some are in the shanty town. They're coming out with you as well. But there's also like this is the first kind of part of civilization that you've seen. It's a very little bit, but it just looks like a very dangerous, very weird, very dark alley instead of just garbage town.
Yeah, I'm just heaving it. Can I look behind? Do I see people following us?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm just continuing to book it.
Am I with them at this point, or like?
I think you begin to see the smoke. They say fire. You find the fire, and you can begin to like come down as they've made their way up through the shanty. That's like a weird wedge. Like if there was like a big cliff, they were like here into the shanty town. Shanty town begins to like build itself up. They went to the bottom of the shanty town and then all the way up, and now they're like here at another level.
Okay.
Still in the Cogs. It's not as deep. Maybe a different district.
I gotcha. So I'm like headed towards them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You land in front of them on Trud.
What the hell's happening?
People are shrieking as the shantytown behind them is just like catching fire quickly.
It's urban renewal.
Did you guys start this?
We already said yes. We're running. We're going upstairs. Can you follow us somehow?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm running with you.
Trud sneezes a couple times because it smells like sulfur and coal smoke down here. Everything's really slick with grime.
Is it any lighter?
There's light. There's torches, it looks like. And there's a lot of weird ambient red light every once in a while. You can see off in the distance. Yeah, you hear like the sounds of large machines kind of everywhere. You kind of have to talk loud because the ambient noise is pretty loud. You kind of look around. People are crawling out of the shanty town, coughing with their mouths covered, looking back in concern, trying to get people and evacuate people out of the parts that are burning.
All right, let's keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Yep.
Down the alley we go.
Okay. There's the actual building, the first building that you've seen there. A little bit farther beyond that building, it looks like it opens up a little bit, but you just feel waves of heat coming off. The people around still kind of like sitting in gutters. It's not an actual street again. It's maybe just a pathway that's made. You have to make your way through, like just people setting up, tents, campfires. The one thing you do notice, not a lot of humans down here. A fucking lot of Warforged. As you see a large gate right before the one building that just says Ash Black.
Ash Flack?
Black.
Mm-hmm.
Affleck.
This must be a refugee camp.
For Warforged?
Yes, they told us about harboring a camp full of refugee warforged.
So these are the ones that aren't all culty?
If they're still here, I must assume.
That's a good point. But there's still a bunch of people following us, right?
Yeah, we gotta
It's not people that are pursuing you. You think with the fire and everything, whatever weird, strange, dragonborn creatures were down there that were trying to molest you, you probably staved off with the bonfire. People are just kind of crawling out trying to evacuate as the already super smoky air down here begins to fill up with wood smoke as well as coal smoke. It begins kind of hard to breathe. All of the air is acrid and it kind of burns a little bit. You can feel the residue every time you inhale, making you shallow breaths. You're trying to put something over the
Alright. Yikes.
Immediately, a couple of Warforged that are nearby begin running towards the shantytown, trying to pull people out, trying to help evacuate.
Can I do a perception check to look for a ranking Warforged?
Yeah, you can roll perception. Go ahead.
13.
You don't find anybody that seems to be in charge. It just seems to be people trying to help people, or Warforged trying to help people trying to help Warforged. One particular Warforged is wearing a pack with just junk, just maybe twice as tall as he is. It's packed up. He's moving very slowly. He turns and he sees everything on fire. He puts the pack down. He gets out, looks around, and starts following other people, trying to help pull people out of the shanty town that's on fire.
I grab one of them or tap one of them and just ask, quickly, how do we make our way up to the main thoroughfare of the city?
This particular Warforged, he's a weird blue-gray metal, stained with soot. You can see a lot of his plates have been burned, or there's a lot of carbon. He looks very dull, very gross, very grimy. You kind of tap on the shoulder. He turns as people are evacuating. He goes, out. You out of the Cogs?
Yes.
He turns back the way he is, looks at the people helping. You can go that way. He points a specific direction. But he goes, that's Dusk territory.
History?
Do you have money?
A small amount, yes.
Money or trade. You can make it that way quicker. Be polite.
Thank you.
He nods. He points the direction past the actual building.
Alright. Start making our way that way.
Okay. You guys kind of... It's super hard to breathe down here as soon as you kind of clear away of the shanty town, you notice a lot of the streets or the stone gives way to metal grating that is suspended from the stone to the sides, and just way far down below is just lava. I need everybody to roll some sort of constitution check.
Okay.
It is almost unbearable for normal people.
8.
7.
15.
Which?
Anybody get below 10?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, one exhaustion for each of you.
Chicka.
It just becomes insanely hard to breathe. You have a little bit of a panic attack. Terrence, you wanted to roll a history on what he said?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's
6.
that's ability checks disadvantage.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Saving throws. Or no.
No, that's
Just abilities.
okay.
What was your history?
I rolled a 6.
Dosk is a name and a word that you've heard before. You've actually heard a lot before, but you just cannot put exactly why it's triggering something.
What would you say, Dosk? Oh, they make those cookies. They come in that blue tin. They're like Royal Dosk.
Yeah, royal gods.
You say the word cookies, and Trud kind of trumps up next to you, like big slobber, and like puts his head towards your shoulder, licking his lips. Licking his lips. You say cookies. You know it's a trigger word for Trud.
I give him a good berry and apologize.
You give him a good berry, and he looks a little disappointed.
I'm sorry, buddy.
So you find your way making these suspended bridges over just like lava. Like it's pretty far down. It's still uncomfortably hot. A little hard to breathe. Actually, before you get to that, the metal part, you actually go past this building that's just like seems to be built of garbage. You see there's actual windows kind of cut out. You see people like leaning out of these small low windows, trying to see what's going on farther down. Dirty humans. You see another a weird shifter with a strange pig nose and like weird mammal fur with eyes that are way too big, kind of like peek out as well. Kind of talks in high pitched squeaks to the human as they lean out. Well, the human scrambles out and begins, trying to help pull people out of the shanty town. You see this small building actually has a sign, oddly enough. The sign says Shamukar. Shamukar. It's got a door, kind of. It's not really like a one piece. It's again driftwood. You see that door kind of like it's not completely in a door frame. Open up. A couple people come out, begin trying to, if not help, at least stand there and gawk as things begin to catch fire farther down the street. There's a couple old men just sitting there sharing a bottle, drinking something that smells foul. Behind them, you see a creature made of stone with really large overhanging jaw, just like walking like an ape out. It kind of like looks across the street. Large wings, big horns, a big jutting jaw. And begins to kind of fly up and make its own way somewhere else.
Is this a bar? Or it's like a tavern?
You're not sure?
Guys, should we check this out? Maybe they can help us get to where we need to get the fella out of here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm up for anything at this point.
Does this seem to be the direction that the Warforged was telling us to go?
It is. Before you get to all the metal grates and the lava and everything, this bar is there in this kind of central hub. Not central hub, but this building is one of the first buildings you've seen. And then continuing on is where that Warforged said, if you have money, you can go to Dosk.
I'll talk to the human. And
Okay.
to Dosk.
You said you're looking for Dosk to them?
Yes.
Okay. Two older men, one with a kind of a large turkey neck, thin, frail looking. His eyes are kind of clouded over in cataracts. Another older man. He looks to be a man that was maybe once very fat, but very malnourished at this point, wearing very grubby looking coat that was maybe like a bright color at some point. Still wearing, having his hair slicked back, very greasy. He seems to have glasses at the very end of his nose, like Benjamin Franklin. Let's just say Benjamin Franklin. At the very end of his nose, one of the lenses just cracked. Wearing a very, maybe a once grimy but colorful cloak. He's got gloves on that are once maybe nice white, now just knuckle gloves. He sits there just like drinking a bottle of drag, passing to the guy grabs the guy with the cataract man's hands, puts it on the bottle as you come up, hands it to him. As you come up to him, he smiles a big, like, kind of weird, bitter smile. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Well, under the circumstances, I've been better.
I'm sorry to hear that. Are you okay? It seems there's a commotion at the end of the street.
Yes, we have some very important business to attend to.
Important business. You must be very important to have important business.
We are only here to try and minimize the damage.
My name is Vertebrand Vintelgrand. Once the sir, no longer. You can just call me Vinterbrand. He takes the bottle from the cataract man. This is Bert. Say hi, Bert. The Bert kind of looks in the general direction and nods. He can't talk very well. He had his tongue cut out. But he drinks just fine. Isn't that right? He kind of laughs a choking laugh.
We're attempting to find our way up into the main city.
Aren't we all? I was there once. It's not worth it.
Where can I find the Dansk?
You say the desk?
Yeah.
The desk?
The Royal Dansk.
I tell you, there's one desk that is here. It is in my apartment because I can read and write, and the rest of these fools can't. That's how I make my money. Pour my drink. I'm a scribe, you see. I'm a learned man. I'm here now, helping other people as I can. You can just smell rancid alcohol on his breath.
Sorry, did you say desk or dusk?
The Warforged said Dosk.
We're looking for Dosk, not Desk.
You say the word Dosk and his manner just completely evaporates. Dosk, you say. Yeah, you can find it that way. He just like gets rid of eye contact completely and just begins looking at the ground. He notes, he kind of looks you over, sees like the armor, sees like the weapon, he sees all of you are completely armed and armored, and he just completely, like his friendly manner just evaporates. He kind of takes a step back and he grabs his friend with the cataracts and kind of pushes it against the wall. Doesn't make eye contact.
Hey, we didn't mean to intimidate you. Is there anything we should know about Dosk? Maybe there's something we could give you for a little information?
His eyes kind of light up for a second. What kind of information would you be looking for? Would you need a guide? I know all of the places here in the Cogs. All of them. I know Ashblack. I know Forge Works. I know Gearhead. I know Crucible.
Those sound great. We were mostly interested in leaving all of those.
The air kind of comes out. He's
Maybe another time?
you don't seem to be part of Dask. I'm not really sure you want to go that way. It's dangerous stuff. I can lead you to safety, of course, but it would cost you a little bit.
I give him like a gold piece and just say, just tell me a little bit more about Dask.
You hand him a gold piece, and he just he takes it and puts it in his pocket. What would you like to know, Master?
For someone making a new introduction to them, what sort of attributes are they looking for in people that they do business with?
You know goblins.
They're goblins.
You know geists. You know ghosts. You know wraiths, ogres, hobgoblins, gargoyles, hags, medusas, basilisks, displacer beasts. Terrible things.
All those things.
Yeah, that's Das.
They just they have like a commune there or something. They're like in a society.
They're all horrible, twisted things. They're powerful because of innate abilities they've gathered. They've made power. They are a gang that owns a lot of the cogs.
Oh,
If you have money, they may work with you, but they're treacherous and evil.
Do they control passage out of the cogs?
Nods. Quick passage, yes.
But you know
As a
another
matter
way?
of fact, did you see Scrimshaw as he left? Terrible stony thing with wings.
yeah, we did see him leave.
That gargoyle is one of their scouts. No doubt leaving the bar here to tell them what's going on. Ruh-roh.
I mean, to be fair, they tried to you saw what happened, right? I guess nobody did. I just bathed in the blood of that one goblin, I guess.
Not Terrence, because Terrence failed. How about Ballstar roll me a intelligence check really quick?
I am bad at those. 16.
16. Two things you kind of remember, jog your memory. The first thing is that remember the addict in the drug den
Mm-hmm.
in the theater district, Joshua?
I think so.
Remember there's a weird drug that turned everybody into weird
Yes.
monsters?
Uh,
You guys interrogated Joshua, and he's the one that kind of supplied them with this weird drug
yeah.
that made them turn all fucking weird.
Right.
When you asked him where he got it after intimidating the shit out of him, he said he got it from Dask. The second thing you remember on top of that, which triggers another thing, is that Dask is something that you've known about for a while as Conlon. Remember the guy without a nose?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a emissary from Dask in
Whoa.
in the Dragonwood. That was like the criminal organization that was being backed up.
So
that
they're
was rivaling Thundering Creed's power.
So they're major, and Conlon was like a diplomat, or like
He was a trusted, like lieutenant, maybe, to diversify their bonds
okay,
in a different place that's not Sharn.
gotcha. So this is a really
So
big.
from what you know of Dosk, they're like dangerous. It's mostly monstrous like things. It's not a lot of humans. It's mostly like really crazy shit like mind flayers and Medusas and very like dangerous stuff. And that they do protection rackets and sell drugs, make drugs, smuggle drugs, do weapons. Conlon was able to call up a raiding party of savage people within 12 hours.
Oh, and the orcs attacked Woodhelm. Yeah, I'm just gonna relay that to everybody.
Guys, this is like it. This is like the hub of these monster mob boys. Like I don't think we have the kind of money to look at us. Do we want to try to like disguise ourselves?
Terrence, that's kind of your realm. You think you could?
Oh, sorry. You also remember the name of the person that sold Joshua the drugs was Siva, a supposed woman who was blind, always wore a hood. That sold the what was it called? I can't remember what I called the drug. Whatever it was called.
Alright. Well, I can disguise myself, and we have the oil.
Oh yeah, the glamour oils.
I don't think that changes our appearance, though. Only our.
It changes the clothes you're wearing,
Clothes.
not like your actual skin.
The only other thing, I could change all of our appearance as a group, but I would only have 10 minutes that it would affect.
Don't you have seeming?
What level's that?
5th.
You guys are sitting there talking a little bit. You see Trud all of a sudden go from like, purring, picking the good berry out of his teeth. All of a sudden, his tail again goes straight. You see the spikes begin to slowly half grow out of it. And you can see him kind of like baring his teeth a little bit as he's looking around wildly.
What's the matter, boy?
He hisses like a cat up in a weird direction, up above him.
Can I try to see what he's looking at?
Yeah, I'll do the
Roll
same.
perception.
I got a 13.
26.
26. You stare in the direction where he's looking. He's looking at some sort of old ruin somewhere up above. It looks like an old part of another building with some like old architecture. That's all you can see though. It's like way up in the distance. Like there's some overhang of a building or a bridge that was once there. That's ruined and collapsed by at this point with some decorative architecture, but you can't really pick anything distinctively out.
Listen, Mr. Van
It's Van Vincent, if you will. Yes.
Van Vincent.
The gentleman Van Vincent.
Right. You mentioned that they have the quickest way out in Dusk. Does that mean you know another way that's longer?
I could be persuaded to guide you across some of the plateaus in different districts to find the way up to the lower areas, but it's past all the forges. Unfortunately, it would be through some deep Warforged territory. through all of the House Caneth mumbo jumbo, all of their forge works. They don't particularly like people coming through there, but it is the fastest way.
Can I insight check this guy?
Yeah, sure.
I guess I'm just feeling paranoid. I want to see if he's like if he's like a plant or something. For Dusk.
What's your total?
It is. Shit, sorry. Why can't I find it? Okay. 15.
You definitely get weird, shady vibes from him. As a plant, you're not really sure. He's taking care of his friend who doesn't have a tongue and can't fucking see, his blind friend. He definitely looks like somebody that had money at some point and has been continually wearing the clothes and has fallen from grace somehow. Maybe in a different life, the coat he was wearing was resplendent, very pretty, the gloves white, the hair perfectly combed, but he looks like he's fallen on very hard times and is just kind of making his way through the cogs, like the slums, as he can. He's a hard guy to pin. As far as a plant, you don't really know.
I'm gonna discreetly hide the sword of Galifar again and offer him 4 gold for leading us out.
Okay. We offer him 4 gold. He looks at it and goes, I'm afraid it's a very dangerous way. If you don't want to run into Dusk, I'll have to charge you 50 gold. I know it's a large sum of money. I have big debts to pay.
Quick.
50 gold now, and maybe an additional 35 when I take you to the elevator.
I throw my hands over my head like, Quincy, are we gonna have enough to? We're not gonna be able to buy our ticket with that. 85. How much? We don't have enough left for that. What can we do?
This
I
guy.
could perhaps take an item and trade. He smiles and he's got like the black green teeth of somebody who's just been drinking the most alcoholic horse water for the last 20 years.
We might not have the gold, but I wonder if we could. We might have some product that'll suit you well.
I'm happy for a trade.
You're so used to that swill. I wonder if you've heard of moon fruit?
Come again? What?
Moon fruit.
Moon fruit. I'm afraid I haven't had the pleasure.
Finest beverage that I've seen. Did somebody stash
What'd you
a
say?
cask of the moon fruit booze?
I don't remember that.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Maybe I'm making things up. I thought maybe we had a cask of the booze somewhere stashed.
I don't
Maybe
know
we
if you
don't.
have a whole bunch of moon fruit yet. It's just
Yeah.
been growing. You have like maybe 1 or 2 moon fruit, but
Right, no crop yet. You're right.
Well, we grew the trees up to like where they could yield.
When we were at that cottage, I thought we stashed some wine from the cellar.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
cottage.
The chateau.
The estate.
2
Oh,
barrels of good
yeah,
wine.
but I mean, like, to turn fruit into wine takes a long time.
Oh yeah.
Are you promising him like future moon fruit wine?
No, I was just wrong about that.
Oh, okay.
No, I thought didn't we grab some? I don't know.
We do have the cactus juice.
What is that?
I'll pull out the cactus juice and show him that bottle.
That
It's
weird.
opened, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. He you show it to him. He looks it over. So, I'm afraid I'm not quite familiar. If you could introduce the item, please.
Let's give him a taste.
Why don't we give him his friend a taste?
His friend has no tongue.
Yeah, but we don't want him to get all messed up if he's going to be leading us.
Just a little bit.
So what do you do?
We need a small receptacle.
He pulls out his like ring of keys. That's actually pretty large, of iron keys. And there's a small pendant that's on the ring of keys. He easily pops the top on this little pendant and flicks it, and there's a folding shot glass. If I could have a small taste, if you wouldn't mind.
Let's get his beak wet. I have a feeling you'll be pretty pleased.
You pour him a small shot of the cactus juice.
Keep it light. Keep it light.
He takes it and whiffs it, and his eyes kind of like widen. Oh my. But he's just tasting smoke and grime. He really quick turns his head, scratches his tongue with his like rotten, dirty fingernails, and then takes the whole shot.
What does this do to you?
There's a moment his eyes water. He turns a little blushed, and there's a pregnant pause. He goes, "The bottle of Colonel Apple. But I might be able to do this twice. Your bottle is open. I'll give you 20 gold for it."
20 gold. So that, what, 65 gold in the bottle?
He nods his head.
Oh, I think... Quincy, does that work?
I think we can do better.
To really use this money.
The bottle is open, but it's still worth a quite large sum of money.
It is very good, but it is not a fine product.
I think we can find someone else capable of guiding us. Thanks for the time, though.
Roll an intimidation.
$11.
He goes, "Father, I've had enough. Both the ability. You can't understand a word he says, but he looks kind of affronted and gives you a rude gesture as you walk away.
Alright, so this corridor is lit now in red.
Yeah, there's a specific direction you were told to get to Dosk if you'd like. That is kind of, again, goes to like metal grating with like lava pretty far below.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking and I'll radio to people. I say we make a show of leaving and see if he changes heart.
Yep.
Alright.
And
Following.
everybody down for that?
Yeah.
You guys leave. says stuff to you that you can't quite understand because his tongue is completely numb. And you guys get maybe 40, 50 feet away. He stops his shouting and just kind of leans against the bar and just slowly sinks to a squat as the blind bearded man that he was with is just kind of like sniffing at the air a little bit in the direction that you guys are going. And he looks at you and he steams, his eyes looking dark and brooding. Not the blind man, the disgraced gentleman. You guys continue down, kind of ignoring him. Trud has his hackles up as you guys are going down. This it's all graded. It all kind of goes in to different directions. There's definitely a main path. All of this like metal. It's warm. It's gross. It's difficult to breathe. You make your way. Eventually, you find yourselves like maybe like a block or two back. There's a couple of different directions, but there's a main thoroughfare. The chain link, not chain link, the metal grating beneath you gives way. It looks like there's another couple of buildings, also kind of made out of trash. But there's a lot more people. It doesn't look like residential. There's people around. It looks like there's business being done. As soon as you kind of step into into this area, people are just leering at you. Conversations between people stop and just like mean eyes just staring. People up above, higher levels, other things. People within windows even just kind of lean out of windows and watch as you walk by. I want to say people, I don't mean like humanoid races. One of the first things you see is in the corner, kind of hunched down, slumped. There's a lithe, slender figure with a strange gleam of moisture, kind of off whatever light is down here. It's still pretty dim. Looks up, you see large, bright green, intelligent eyes. And as the chin lifts, you see the chin disappears into tentacles. You hear thoughts radiating from him, just saying, Come here. Yes, we must talk. Come. You see minotaurs like lean out of doorways, watch you come down this area. You hear a rustle up above you as you see another large winged stone figure of white bleached marble fly, buzz you almost, and perch on another archway you have to make through as everybody is just stopped what they're doing and just begins watching. You see goblins, you see hobgoblins, there's a couple ogres, there's a mind flayer, there's this gargoyle that's staring at you, there's a couple of other strange rubbery creatures wearing large cloaks. Everything stops and just begins staring at you in a weird, eerie silence as you make your way into this area. The strange figure with the jutting jaw, large stone wings, is perched up on the archway. Is the same thing you saw crawl out of that barn.
Is it the same fool? Would I know?
Yeah, it's what the disgraced gentleman called Scrimshaw.
The scout?
Hmm?
The scout?
Pretty much. It's a gargoyle, for sure.
Did we enter into the dusk zone?
Seems like it. I'll say I'll greet the gargoyle.
Yeah.
It's just silence. You feel dozens of eyes on you. Just wave your hand. You say anything?
Scrimshaw?
Its head kind of to the side.
Do you know-
We were told we could somehow get passage up to the upper levels through the help of your DOSC organization. I am not a cop.
There's a bolt of movement as soon as the gargoyle. It's whenever it's still, it doesn't look alive. It's the strange differentiation of something that's inanimate and immediately something that is real and adamant. Whenever it stops moving, it's hard to tell. Like maybe you were crazy. It's still as it moves its head, and in a quick flurry of movement, it drops down 20 feet. The stone wings open up as it glides and right in front of you. Still again. One simple movement of the head comes up. You can see it's made of like this weird white stone marble skin almost. It's like peeling. It's as if like marble is corrupted and begun to like peel and like it's marble that hasn't been taken care of. It completely still. You call me Scrimshaw? Who are you?
This is my friend Alan. I'm Babio, and we are trying to. We fell back when the tower kind of started collapsing up by the theater district, and we're just trying to find our way to our friends and see if they're still alive. We were told we could get passage.
You hear a couple of weird, monstrous things over the side. Just one begins a low, growling chuckle as there's kind of a rise of laughter. Somebody says something you don't quite understand. Everybody kind of chuckles to the side. Scrimshaw, again, is that weird point between adamant and inanimate. You wish safe passage to the upper levels.
Yes.
And you can pay.
I once had a business deal with a man named Conlon. Are you aware of Conlon?
Completely still again. These couple seconds. I do not know this name.
He was an emissary of Dosk over in Woodhull.
He had another name.
Never heard of him.
Oh, shoot.
Conlon was an alias. I think we learned his name back
You told them your names, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're the Manticore, is that our name?
Well, you said I'm Alan and this is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what his other name was.
I can lead you safe up sunlight.
What's your price?
We'll keep you safe.
Roll insight.
Sure?
Oof. Couldn't get much worse. 6.
This thing has no facial expressions to really give. It's like adamant, like stone that's been animated. So there's no real facial expressions. It's insanely hard to glean anything off of it.
Yeah.
What would you require from us?
A detour.
We love detours.
Siva has called your names. Siva requests you visit.
We will meet with Siva.
Happy to oblige.
Good. Follow me. It pulls itself, jumps, and the big stone wings flap open and immediately takes like where you think usually like the main place that the street goes. He takes a quick detour to the left. Everybody's just and the rest of the weird, like monstrous things are just you're left silent as everything's just staring at you. You hear a warbling beckoning from the strange rubbery thing that is crouched and with very large, strange, intelligent eyes staring at you.
Who was Siva again?
Person who the junkie bought the drugs off of,
Okay,
I think.
gotcha. That's who we're about to meet.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll follow.
We're supposed to, right?
You guys quickly look around, follow Scrimshaw. As you go deeper and deeper, things get weirder and weirder, less civilization, even here in the slums. Cobwebs, strange altars, weird idols down twisting corridors. Eventually, you find yourself opening to kind of a larger chamber. This is completely enclosed. This looks like maybe it was once a actual building, buried by centuries and centuries of people building on top of buildings and top of buildings. Crumbled walls in a completely enclosed space, no sunlight. You can see at the very, very top there is a series of torches that are burning in a strange oval ring with mirrors above it that are kind of casting this ominous red, orange light down. The building itself was maybe impressive once. Large carved columns, large statues that are just crumbled at this point. It's hard to tell what anything or any of this decoration was. You can just tell maybe it was intricate centuries ago. Mold and ichor and strange rot covers most of this, as it looks almost like a Greek temple. Large stairs leading up to a columned platform. And in the center of this platform, in the middle, you can see a brazier about the size of a large living room, just burning with a low, dull orange flame. Scrimshaw, you see, as he flies in this chamber quicker. You see a lot of the statues, not all, but a lot, enough to be unsettling. As he flies in, a lot of the statues move to watch him. He comes in and you see him fly into the large Greek temple-esque with the burning brazier. You see not other statuesque things, but other smaller, stranger-covered things, humanoid-esque, scatter really quick into shadows, into other tunnels that aren't really apparent, covered by cloth, into their own weird little filth holes. As you see him, come, you're at the bottom of the staircase. As you kind of look around, it's hard to differentiate what is statue and what is other things that have moved. You hear a beckoning, echoing. Come to this top, near the brazen. I wish to see you.
It's like an audible voice.
It's a voice that booms and kind of resonates through all the stone.
Okay.
Is it ladylike?
It is ladylike.
Yeah, I say we approach.
Yeah, going up to the brazier.
You guys kind of go up these steps, crooked and broken. A lot of the steps look like jagged teeth. You have to find your way kind of up these maybe 100, 200 steps. As you finally get, it's this ominous presence and this weird kind of reverence of like a temple. There's frescoes painted all along the walls. Carved intricately, but also ruined enough for you not to really be able to recognize exactly what it's supposed to be. Although the brazier in the center is large, the fire isn't bright. It's a dull orange that only kind of casts strange, suspicious shadows. It almost looks like in front of there's a large altar of a crumbling god. Just feet and weapons kind of remain. The rest of it behind, almost crumbling to dust, where a statue like this large, impressive altar might be. In front of this altar are maybe 2 or 3 dozen figures, perfectly silent. You feel eyes on you as the strange brazier in front of it casts suspicious, low-level shadows everywhere. You up the steps, you see all of these figures looking at you, and in front of the crumbled altar that was giant is a figure more pronounced than the rest. It looks, every once in a while you get a flicker of flesh underneath a curved hood and 2 bandages across the eyes.
Like over both eyes?
Yeah, it's like a big hood, large cloak, and then a bandage over each eye, from you can see from the low flicker of the dull orange brazier in front of her. And then there's figures all around her, a couple dozen. Twisted, weird forms that move in the flickering low light.
You must be Siva.
You see the figure and head nod and beckon. Closer.
Step in closer.
You guys move towards the other couple dozen figures in front, seemingly prostrating or just in front of this large altar, or in front of Siva, I'm not sure. You move towards these dark figures. As you get closer, the figures are completely still. Statues. All in different poses. Reverence, fear, pain, complete ecstasy. It's hard to tell. All of them very lifelike figures around this dull brazier. You have to weave your way through in order to get close.
It's a Chevy
As you notice,
Blazer.
all incredibly lifelike statues. You guys make your way very close to Siva. Her eyes still down, bandages in front of both eyes. Not looking at you, she goes, "What brings my good customers to see this place.
Well, frankly, you wanted us here.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I said, well, frankly, you wanted us here, so
Yeah. I guess. Let's be direct. I'm not in the mood for this. You bought all my stuff, and you threatened a dealer of mine. It doesn't put us on good terms. Why shouldn't I, well, kill you now? Because you threatened a good friend of mine. You threatened someone who's doing business for me. And we find you down here. I could kill you now. And I could keep selling and keep making money when you stopped me from making money.
You could look at it like we saved your man from a tavern full of monsters.
I don't care about that. They all bought just fine. You bought for a fourth of the price, and you intimidated a friend of mine to buying it for a fourth of the price. You guys remember Joshua, right? He points, and you see Joshua very, very clearly in statuesque form, very close to her, in complete fear, petrified.
that seems
Well, in point of fact, the incident at the pub was not a very profitable interaction for anyone. You see, those were simply samples that were given out by your dealer, and I don't think that's an effective business model. I don't understand how you think people would embrace this product when clearly its side effects are so destructive.
You make a good point. Not a lot of gold was made. However, there was a lot of ancillary money to be made on the side. People might not come back, but there are benefits to buying and selling the product I was given.
But you must understand, we are, in general, defenders of the good.
Oh no, honey. You say defenders of the good. I need.
I look at what.
Alan Greenspan. I need you to roll a Constitution save.
10.
10?
Yep.
You say defenders of the good, and there's a flash of, not light, there's a flash of power from her. Alan, you feel, it's as if somebody has taken your picture with a flashbulb. There's just this feeling of, like your eyes kind of go weird and wily. As you look down, you feel numbness in your feet begin to kind of grow up to your kneecaps. As you look down, as it's just begun to petrify. Oh, I don't like that. I can entertain people.
I use the Ring of Time reversal.
Ring of Time reversal?
Yeah, before Terrence says that.
There's a weird, like, you feel the petrifying happen, numbness, all this reverse really quick. I think the petrified begins. Prize. Roll another Constitution saving throw, Alan Greenspan.
Oh, was it before Terrence said Defenders of the Good?
Oh, you want to do it before Terrence said Defenders of the Good?
Yeah, try to reverse that.
Okay, I think you rewind it to the beginning of the sentence, And if you want to stop him,
Okay.
you have to do something. I'm just gonna get a sentence again. Offenders of that large coughing fit.
And
Yeah.
then I switch it to the stability of Greenland.
Oh, you're cute. I'll give you that. The thing is, you're not making me any money. You're costing me money. I'm gonna have to take that money from you one way or another. If you disagree, we can take it. We can take it higher up. I can take it now. I can take it from you.
What if we were to maybe substitute your substance for another, and then you could start dealing with that? One that's maybe a little less destructive in nature.
Her head kind of lolls up. Interested. The hood peels back just a little bit. Eyes still completely bandaged over. You see just a couple of weird, strange rattlesnakes come out of the hood. We're listening. I hope you're a better talker than Joshua. Joshua's pretty. He's not necessarily smart.
Something exclusive? Something that could be drunken to excess?
I'm listening. We're listening.
We are in the process of growing something that is not of this plane, but which can be distilled into an alcoholic beverage.
Okay, continue.
With you as distributor,
Properties of this particular beverage are not yet known.
And what is the beverage?
we don't have a name. We need someone in marketing, but you've got the distribution. I see beautiful things.
I'm looking for something addictive. Something I can sell a lot of. Something that's easy to make. Is that what you're promising me?
Production time is long. We don't have a way around that. This is more of a seasonal product.
Sounds like you're wasting my time. Roll a persuasion check.
Old Alan's not all that persuasive today. Crit persuasion.
Damn.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
She says, I think you're wasting my time. However, you have intrigued me.
See, I think with the huge socioeconomic upturn that's this whole country's going through right now, I think we might be able to take advantage of that.
No time for being vague. Tell me what you're selling and who you're selling it to quickly before I lose my patience.
Booze made from moon fruit. People gotta drink.
What is moon fruit?
Oh, the product that we're growing.
What?
That's what we call it. We don't know the actual name of it, but we just started
Okay,
calling it.
you call it moon fruit. What the fuck is it?
Grows on trees, can be distilled into alcohol.
Okay, it doesn't sound like I need you alive for this. Why would people buy it? People make alcohol from crab apples. You can find it fucking anywhere. You're beginning to lose my patience.
Do we even know what it does?
No. Just make something up.
Did it have anything to do with your transformation? Is that why we called it moon fruit?
No.
We took it.
It is like interdimensional fruit. You haven't said that yet.
Oh. I thought I said it came from another plane.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed that. I'm sorry. So you're saying this fruit is exceedingly rare. You can grow it here.
We're the only ones who own this fruit in this plane.
We currently have a vineyard that is
It's currently in
in
production.
production.
Is it narcotic? Is it? It's rare, right? So who will you be selling it to then?
I imagine it wouldn't do well with passing legal status, if that's what you're
With
asking.
what?
With passing legal status, if that's what you're asking.
All right, you've bought 2 minutes of my time. Give me a business pitch, starting now.
We provide a massive shipment of the product at a particular time of year. Its properties are still unknown. We would need you to run up a test market. Perhaps it's addictive. Perhaps it's just enjoyable. Either way, we need a mass distribution. And we might have to keep things under the radar.
What's the price you're selling this for?
Actually, didn't we have a quoted price about per barrel yield on the chateau? I might have written that down.
At one point.
Yeah, you did. Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
Alan would know.
Essentially, this is like a rarity wine, something you can sell to people that have money to spare. You don't know any of the effects of it or anything, but it's like people will buy it. It tastes decent, and it's rare.
Well, we produce it by the cask.
What would you charge for a cask? Let's say a cask is 100 bottles of wine.
Good lord. Okay.
One
We
minute
would-
remaining.
We would need to
Yeah.
yield 1,000 gold on the barrel or on the cask.
You're saying, okay, 1,000 gold per cask. What would you sell it to me for?
Say cleanly half of that.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Crit again.
Jeez.
Okay.
You see her smile, and she has giant snake-like fangs. I like your brazen balls, Helen.
Have you seen my tattoo?
I like your mind. I like it so much, I'll buy it for 300.
Does she see me extending a hand?
Do you put out a hand?
Oh, yeah.
She takes 2 steps down from the pedestal, and she throws out a hand. Her sleeve comes up, and instead of a hand, there's a head of a snake. Coils around your wrist.
Nice. Pump twice, retract.
Pump. Sounds like a good deal. 300 a cask if I can sell for 1,000. We'll say I'll give you a month to produce. How many can you produce in a month? You said it's seasonal?
Right. So if it's harvest season, we were given acreage for the chateau, weren't we?
Yeah.
Can somebody message frickin' what's his name, who we put in charge?
Val?
No.
Val can't read yet.
I didn't think it was Val.
No, we had a.
Oh yeah,
The groundskeeper.
The bosun, the guy who was like taking care of the land. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, he would know total acreage.
You can do ascending really quick. You send him a message. You get an immediate response. He goes, I know nothing about the moon. I've never grown moon fruit before. I don't know. It's going okay, but there's only one of me now.
Give me the figures from the wine.
That's taking up. Nobody else is working the land.
Give me the figures for the wine yield. Forget moon fruit.
What'd you say?
Putting aside moon fruit, what was the yield for number of wine casks during harvest?
For wine, seasonal. We do 200 casks.
Nice. Ballpark 200 casks.
You say ballpark 200 casks. She smiles. She goes, make it 270. We have a deal.
Tentative deal.
Tentative deal. Fantastic. Alan, you and your crew, good graces. You may have spared me a little bit of cheap drugs, but if it's bring up a point, if it's not addictive, it's not addictive. We are looking to break into a different market. People who can sell into Skyway, something rare, something delicious, something with demand and a certain je ne sais quoi. I'll hold you to this deal. If you could just write your chateau address down here for me, please. She produces a pen and paper.
Yeah. 123 Chateau Court.
Do you lie or do you say the truth?
Yeah, I'll write what I know of the address.
Okay. Write it down. She smiles. Ah, you make me happy. I'm very glad to have met all of you. Scrimshaw tells me that you needed help up to the upper levels. Is that correct?
It is, but now that we have a go for a plan here, we do have one other matter to attend to.
Her, also looking at the ground, her head kind of twitches to the side in inquiry.
You see, we've not fully scaled up production of on our chateau due to other more pressing concerns, but now that you're willing to be our pipeline, we wonder if you might help finance our expansion and production.
Speak plainly. What do you want?
We would need to hire laborers and get the land working as quickly as possible in order to follow your timeline.
How many laborers do you need?
I'll do another sending to ask.
Okay. I can't remember his name. The crazy guy that wears underwear and eats baguettes. The crazy gnome. He says, I don't know, 40 people. 40 people. We have rooms and lodging for all of them. If I can get a cook, that'd be nice, but if you can get somebody right now, I guess I can do with 20. 40 is what we can house.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just full bore 40 people.
40 people? Okay. I will take an additional discount for the price that I pay if I supply the labor. You must understand. I can get them there in 2 weeks. You don't worry about paying them. We have our own resources.
What sort of additional discount are we talking?
We'll pay 50 less for each cask.
Sold.
Done and done. A labor force will be sent.
And our success is assured.
She takes a bow. Anything else?
Do you know of an alias? Conlon?
Her smile kind of widens. Conlon. I know Conlon, the noseless beast.
That's the one. I once treated with Conlon for 2 no-show jobs. Salaries should be accruing for the last, I don't know, year or so. Actually, is that true? How long has it been? Has it been like
6
a week?
months, I guess. What jobs are you talking about?
Oh, I once bullied him into writing slots.
Oh, fuck, what was it? It was like, it was embezzlement, right?
Right. It's like names on a ledger who would be paid a salary, but really I just take it.
Oh, I thought that was
Yeah.
for Creed. Thundrin Creed.
No, it was means on a ledger.
Friends Forever.
Because, well, it was Uncle. It was the Uncle. Fuck, what was his name? God damn it! I don't have my notebook out.
The one that Usador dominated?
Oh,
Jeremy.
Gerald.
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 Gerald. Yeah. So you made it. So Gerald. Or you made other accounts in Gerald's notebook. So Conlon would pay, or not Conlon. So Thunder and Creed would pay out. But it was going to go to Conlon, and Conlon would pay you out, right?
Yeah. One way or the other, Conlon had the stash.
Okay.
And I've been unable to collect because I've not seen him.
She smiles. How long do you have to wait?
As in right now?
She nods her head.
Oh, if we can bring resolution, I'm willing to sit. I've got all day.
You give me an hour. I can get you the past news if what you say is true.
An hour? No problem.
She snaps her fingers. You see 6 gargoyles fly from different areas of this chamber. All fly in front of her. She goes, you heard him. Find Conlon. Get him the money. They all fly off in different directions. She says, I'm afraid I don't have anything to offer you to eat. I have places to sit and books.
That would be lovely. Are you fond of bananas?
Okay.
She says, no, I'm not fond of banana. Yes, I do have books. She reaches behind her to the large statue of the crumbling god, and she pushes an area that doesn't look like a door. It turns into a door. One of the oldest libraries in Shard.
I start
You may browse. You may browse at your leisure. If I see you come out of there with a book, you will stay here forever.
I do not even hesitate. I go in.
Cool. It's a small library. When she says books, it's mostly racks and racks of parchment scrolls. Many different languages, many old languages. Anything specific you're looking for?
Anything that is literally like arcane could bolster my knowledge of magic.
I don't think anything. Well, I don't think anything that will like give you experience or anything. But as you kind of go through this for the 20 minutes, you notice that this is old, very valuable shit. Not all of it you can read. As a matter of fact, a lot of it is so old it's not in written form. It's in woven knots. There's a language, ancient, before the continent was even settled. Um, it's like old goblinoid, like when the first like goblins like had brought any sort of civilization to this continent. They had no writing system. It was all in woven knots that you have to like feel out. It's insanely valuable. Nothing you can currently read in those, but you recognize it for what it is, and it gives you a chill down your spine. As far as any sort of like actual magic, let me get back to you on that. As far as you, if you can take anything with you, I don't think it's that. It's just like knowledge. Like ancient orders of kings, it's royal lineages, uh, large smatterings of strange esoteric knowledge that gives you a little bit of a makes you happy. This is some like info that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else, but it's nothing. You don't have really enough time to be able to like study it and see what like deep is in here.
Could I browse for any like Fey stuff?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know much about it.
You're looking for?
Anything in regards to like the River King or anything. I don't know much about this Fey shit, and I'm creeped out by it.
You don't find anything about the River King. You find if you're looking for Mab, you find stuff about Mab. You find ancient, terrible shit about Mab. She is an old god. Thought to be the bringer of the first ice age that killed the first strange, prehistoric beings. The giants, the frost giants, the ones that were first figure out magic before humans and elves and all that shit, before giants enslaved elves and taught elves magic, before the giants went to war with the dragons that made the whole creation of magic across the world. Frost giants were a production of Mab. She is ancient and terrible.
Just super evil.
Not evil. Cruel, maybe, is a good word for it. Like a hurricane is cruel.
Sure.
Not necessarily evil, just a force of nature.
Gotcha.
Anything else specifically that you want to look for?
No. Nothing particular.
Cool.
Did I see anything on a creation forge?
Creation Forge? Actually, the history isn't that recent. You do find a strange scroll, maybe dated like 2,500 years ago, about creating a living being, like pseudo Warforged. But it has nothing to do with dragon marks. It has nothing to do with House Caneth. It has nothing to do with a creation forge. This is somebody trying to create artificial life. It's bare. It's sparse. It's almost like a series of poems instead of like a history. But you find this strange text, and something mentions the god Primus, along with these precursors to the Warforged.
Okay. And lastly, I'm looking for more fodder to pass along to
Taliba?
Who's our author?
Taliba.
Taliba. Yeah, basically anything relevant to what we've already passed along to her.
Like any juicy tidbits.
Yeah.
Roll an intelligence check.
Alright, that's a 24.
24. Yeah, you find some interesting tidbits of history. Nothing recent. Nothing profound. Nothing that like changes your understanding of history. But interesting tidbits. Some good juicy bits that you can tell Taliba. Not even really an hour goes by, maybe like 45, 50 minutes. And you hear rustling outside. The brazier kind of wickers in the wind as you hear some slow talking outside the library. She comes in. She has a scroll that's kind of bound up. She walks up to Alan and she hands it over because this is a gift from Conlon. You may get this out of any House Kundarak bank that you can find. I did not look at it, but Conlon sends his regards, or so Scrimshaw says.
Well, this means a great deal to me. Thank you for doing this.
What did you say?
I thanked her for doing this.
Okay. She nods her head very, very shallowly. She walks no. She goes. If you require guidance to the upper levels, the gargoyles can take you where you would like to go.
Excellent. As soon as the boys are finished reading, we're ready to proceed.
Thank you very much. You've been very generous.
She just kind of turns with a slight nod. And goes back out to the brazier and kind of puts her hands over it, head down. You unroll the scroll, and it says, "Dearest Alan, thank you so much for your participation. We were not able to completely destroy Mr. Creed. He's popped up in recent years, and there's been nothing but a nuisance. However, this is what you were owed, and never tell anyone I'm not a man of my word. Enclosed, any Kundarak bank, you may produce this receipt for 12,000 gold."
Woo! Woo! Woo!
That's 6 months hard labor. Gorgeous.
Gargoyles come from every direction inside of this strange chamber. Gargoyles shaped like humans, shaped like gargoyles, shaped like strange, like Pegasuses. When you guys are ready, they take you, lift you up. You can ride them. They grasp you in their claws and just take you up to the lower levels of Sharn, up to the low, not the Cogs anymore, no longer in the unmapped slums, but up to places where civilization, although still poverty-stricken, is not nearly as bad. You are dropped off at another small balcony overlooking the Cogs. All 6 of the gargoyles kind of drop you off, and then just take flight back into the Cogs. Moving on up.
Free air.
All right.
Let's get to our sky cab.
Yeah, what's this place like?
This is lower levels, but now that you have a map, you have a place where you know you are. You give Goosefire, you send him a message. You let him know where you are, and not really a sky cab as much as like a small airship comes and picks you up. Not as big as the Fang, but a very nice covered limo sky cab comes and picks you up. You guys get in, takes you up and up and up and up. Eventually, you reach the tops of Sharn's towers, and you go past that into Skyway, a floating island far above Sharn that is unapproachable for most people. It is a large island split into 8 different sections, each a manor in itself, an estate. You're taken to a manse, which is like a kind of a guest house of another larger estate. Green grass grows. There's ponds, a whole ecosystem of specifically selected trees, all beautiful, all kind of lit with its own strange fairy light. The manse itself, which is the smaller guest house, is bigger than most mansions that you've been a part of. As you come up to the large doors that have carvings of ancient gods all in them, all made of pewter, you knock once, the doors open by themselves to a large foyer, all done in hard, dark ebony and bright white ivory. Goosefire comes down one of the large circular staircase. As he puts out his arms, he goes, "Gentlemen, I'm so very pleased to see you. How's the Cogs?"
Oh, it's on fire.
"Oh, on fire. Fantastic. But everybody's safe."
Well, we are.
That's all that matters.
You feeling better, Goose?
Much. Call in a few favors. I have a place to live. I have a lawyer. I'm getting identity changed. I'm actually getting the owner of the building changed. So I should be fine. Although I'm going to stay up here for a while. Could be weird for some of the people that I borrowed money to get some of the raw materials for that place. Yeah, so everything's good with you. Did you get everything you need to get done?
We did the best we could.
We came across the information that we were seeking. That's the important
This
part.
piece of plaster just gonna fall on him.
That's
Which
been there for weeks.
information?
The teleportation circles.
Good to know. Yeah, I'm glad you found it. I been talking with my emissary from the Karnath Embassy, and the fuel should be here by tomorrow morning at the hangar at your leisure to get the Fang fueled up to go wherever you'd like. You're welcome to stay here for the night, or I can set you up lower if there's a specific place that you need to go, but you seem like busy men. If you need to be somewhere, I can make sure that you get there.
We're here. I say we bunker up.
I agree. We need a freaking good night's
Hey,
sleep.
Goosefire. What do you know about Thunder and Creed?
His face kind of goes blank for a moment. He's a terrible son of a bitch. He sucks. Yeah, he's grown in a lot of power and slowly becoming a very powerful man in Sharn. The Lord Mayor is a good man, not a smart man, but a charismatic one. Thunder and Creed has made himself very close to him.
This is terrible news.
He nods his head. Thunder and Cream has the bloodline and the money to really do whatever he wants and pass whatever he wishes.
Ballstar starts paying attention and says, "Hey, we heard his name is Tarkin Daldaxel or something. Is that it? That's the same dude, right?"
He kind of shakes because I don't know that name. I just know Creed is rich. Who's this Dardaxel man?
I think it's just an alias. It's the same dude, as far as I know.
Is that what we got off that basement computer or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
We believe that Thunder and Creed poses a great threat to the city.
Above his head.
If we have to leave in the morning, would you continue to do us a favor and just look into what Thunder and Creed is doing?
Goosefire nods his head. Says, yeah, of course. I don't like him. What else do you know about him besides the alias?
I'll tell him what we know, like what we knew about Woodhelm and everything, his involvement there.
Okay. Do you tell him about the Arum, the Illuminati that he's a part of?
Just a little bit that we know.
Okay. As soon as you mention the Arum, Goosefire I'm afraid that's bad news, boys. I don't know if I can overtly move against him.
Or are you part of this secret society thing too?
He blushes a bit, kind of reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out 5 bronze rings. Other 5 bronze rings. I don't wear them, but
You'll be cool, right? I mean, come on. You'll be cool.
I can't do anything overt against him.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm specifically. I need to just to clarify. Just you're not gonna tell them we're looking into them at all, right?
There's a moment's pause. He goes, no, of course not.
And such
Go ahead.
Brett,
Crit?
Damn.
He goes, no, of course not. You broke me out, saved my life. You saved my business. And they're helping too. They're the ones that are arranging things, so it's not my fault. I'm at an impasse here, guys. I'm not going to tell them anything about you guys. But I can't overtly move against him if he's a superior.
No need to make moves.
These guys are terrifying. These guys are continent wide.
We wouldn't ask you to put yourself in danger, and
intel should be enough.
Nods his head. Look, I'll try to find any sort of dirt I can on him, but I can't do anything overt. And I have to be really careful if I try to dig up any dirt on him. But
Understood.
if I can give you one thing, don't fuck with the Arum, please. You think shit's bad now? With the Warforged? The Warforged don't have money. You realize that. They just have power. Arum has both. You're in over your heads. Don't move against Creed overtly, please. I can't help you. I like you guys. I want to see you alive. The Arum will buy your name and put you at the bottom of a well to work as a slave for the rest of your life while you have no limbs. They're terrifying. They'll find every family that you have, and they'll throw them into the ocean with stones tied to their feet. They have that many resources. They'll start wars if they have a grudge against you.
Noted.
Good to know. We only know that we've seen the results of Creed's meddling, and we are perturbed by evidence of his transition to Sean.
Yeah. I'll try, but I'm telling you, if I hear anything about a burn team, I'm dropping, and I'm running.
Fair enough.
Well, happier things. I'm glad you got what you need to go, or what you need from here. Fuel should be there by tomorrow morning. Please stay here. The manse is yours. Anything that I can help contribute. Unfortunately, the master of this estate is out. He prefers to stay anonymous, but the property is yours for tonight and until tomorrow morning. So have fun. I have a few things of business to take care of with the tower, and specifically some of the bars that I had some investment in, taking care of some of the legal issues with that. But I also have to stop by the Feywild quickly. Make sure some of the shops there have stayed in order. I haven't really heard from them, so.
If you need any assistance, let us know.
As I said, he gives each one of you a hearty handshake and a kiss on the cheek. Does a little flourish, and gets in the Skycap limo that he sent for you. And you guys have this enormous estate full of servants and whatever you want for the night. Do whatever you like. Tomorrow, you set out for your next adventure. This is probably a good time to end for tonight.
Yeah.
Yay!
Alright, can we go over options? So, or think about where?
Yeah, go for it.
So what leads do we have? Where we want to go after Sharon? We have the teleportation circles. That was kind of one of the main things. What else were we trying to do?
The artifacts from the wannabe adventurer guy who wrote the diary. That we found at our estate.
Yeah.
We've got Usador's quest, the
Modron.
Modrons.
Right. Did we have any leads? He kind of disappeared last time we saw him.
I scared him off last time.
I don't think we have any leads. We would just have to be going in blind.
What else do we have? Didn't we write out all the plot prompts?
Yeah, I mean we did most of it. We found out more about the Black Lantern things, the people that were left behind, whatever, at Bartleby's. We got fuel for the Fang.
Yeah, it seems like we're mostly wrapped up in Sharon. But, now what?
The only other thing would just be I don't know, maybe go to Rote or something, scope it out.
Weren't we growing a Zerg army somewhere?
There's that too.
Oh yeah.
We planted both those shards, right?
That hasn't, yeah we did. That hasn't been very long.
Yeah, follow up with Calco.
It's been maybe a couple weeks.
I say we go for the artifacts.
What?
The artifacts from
Oh, okay.
the dude's diary.
What was where were we supposed to look for information on that?
On what?
So we pretty much got everything we need out of Sharn. We've got transportation. We've got the teleportation circles. The one side quest we had was the artifact quest from our estate. We got that lead.
Right. It was held by a leader of bandits, held by an Oni. Oh, fuck. What was it? Let me go through my 3 notebooks real quick. Deso Finequard was the name of the caretaker. The Fabled Condemner was a crossbow that was in the hands of a legendary assassin named Todora, who disappeared 20 years ago, hunting an Oni who ran a crime ring in Breland.
Oh.
Okay, so we really only have a
Breland
location.
Bay.
What'd you say, Chris?
Breland. That's a little open-ended.
He's a bad guy in America.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can think about places to look for that. John, do you remember any other kind of open threads that we haven't followed up yet?
Usador.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Okay, we have to find him.
Right. There is the hidden library in the twisting sands of the Demon Wastes, where the original owner of the Belgard estate, disappeared. Or if you remember, he was a young noble, a young gnomish noble, who thought himself a hero.
Oh, I thought that's what the
information
artifact
on
were.
famous weapons that he thought
Something.
would make him a legendary hero, and he collected all the information that he kept on a journal on his person, except for the one that he left at the estate. And on his first quest to go into the hidden library of the Demon Wastes, he disappeared.
That's the one I think I was talking about.
Do you think that would lead us to the crossbow too?
Maybe there's more information in his full journal, but maybe not.
There's also all the business with Radoth.
Right, right off the River King. You haven't been back to the Dragonwood, although you were just there.
Alright, because he bailed us out and then told us he'd catch up with us later.
Kind of, yeah. He said it aggressively, but he did help us escape.
There's also the Winter Knight's grudge against his father, or against her father, which is Ballstar. There's Mab, who you pretty much left. I mean, she tried to kill you, but that's kind of
That's
mainstay for Mab.
that's how she says goodbye.
let's see. There's still Quesnef and the poisonous drugs and whatever sort of weird plot he has. You remember that the Council of like the Fae was going to give you aid.
Dancing goblin.
Or if you were to get rid of the demonic contract that you have on you.
Oh,
You have to
right.
do that by killing the Rakshasa Raja.
In hell.
Well, here and then in hell. Yeah.
Right. I didn't anticipate doing that.
Also, if you wanted to go the opposite direction, you could go with
Feedback.
right. You can go with his inactions, which was sabotaging 2 separate churches and instilling demons in the clergy for 2 separate churches. Or the ultimate price, selling your soul for ultimate power.
I'm thinking track down the Traveler or hunt for Usador.
I think Usador's. We've dropped that lead for a while.
Oh man, we got some pretty baller items.
Yeah.
It's shiny.
So Nate just came in and got the bird out of the cage, but we realized there's a huge ceiling fan,
Oh no.
Oh
so we put him back away.
Oh god, that would be bad.
Quick thinking.
He's a little mad, but it's okay.
no! Aw. Which one were you guys leaning towards?
I think Usador, right?
I don't
Or
think
Michael wants to go on the
so. I go
Doofus
the
quest.
Demon Wastes.
Yeah, the demon wastes or Usador. One of those two is good.
I say we do the penis poppers.
Yes.
It's a good one, too.
Solid third option.
I would like you guys to pick one or the other, just so I know
Yeah.
what to refresh on.
Right.
I don't care.
Put it to a vote.
Sure.
I'll throw in with the artifact.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright.
Let's go to the waste.
Yes,
Demon Waste it is.
Demon Wastes?
Yep.
Cool. Good to know. I'll set it up. You guys are going to regret that decision.
Oh boy.
Alright, thanks guys. Hopefully we can do it next week. I'm not 100% sure if I have to watch Grandma or not. We'll see.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Hey,
man.
thanks, man.
Thank you.
Later.
Thanks for playing fantasy with me, guys.
Yeah, you.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey.